Are you trying to learn how to color grade and you find that tutorials on YouTube are just too involved or too overcomplicated? If you stick with me in this video, I'll show you guys how I got from S-Log3 to the color grades that you see before you right now. Let's get into it. All right, before we get into the tutorial, take a look at this video that I recorded earlier tonight for this tutorial. All right, so one of the reasons that I wanted to come out and, film this at night is because I've been watching a lot of movies recently. And one of the things that I realized about the scenes that really make me go, wow, look at that color grade, is that they're at night, at times where they can really control the lighting for one, and then how heavy their shadows are, in the shadowy parts of the scene. So I'm out here, it's 11:40 at night, it's kind of cold, it's probably windy, but what I wanted to do was be able to control the light, be able to have those darks, and then pull the color grade on this. All right, so you guys saw those scenes at the beginning of this video. Those are scenes that I have been working on and working on and working on because I have to learn how to color grade because, as you guys know, I'm working on a short film and I am just doing my very best. And so if you are someone who is like me, who's just doing your very best and you want to know the easiest way to color grade, look no further. This is going to be the easiest video on YouTube about color grading. I know because I've watched them all. None of them are going to be easier than this. Couple things you should know. One, I'm not going to talk about how to expose for S-Log3 in this video. I'm not the person you want to learn that from. Unless you want to learn it from me, and it's going to be the simplest explanation ever. Go down in the comments and let me know. But if you want to learn from someone who really knows how to do it, there's a guy on the internet. His name is Who is Matt Johnson, and you should go and watch his video about how to expose for S-Log3. He's much better at it than I am. Secondly, I am just a guy doing my very best in Davinci Resolve. It's the only editing program that I've ever used, so I don't know what this tutorial is going to look like if you try to do it in other programs. I've never used them, so I don't know how it's going to work. Third, I'm not a colorist. I'm not someone who knows how to color grade. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. This is just going to be the easiest way to get from S-Log3 to an image you can be proud of. The last thing, I work on a Windows laptop, so I don't know what the keys are on a Apple laptop or other laptops. So I don't know. Let's get into this color grade. So, all right. So here we are in DaVinci Resolve, and this is what it looks like. You guys have seen S-Log3 before. You know what it looks like. It's washed out. It's dull. No one wants to come to its party. It's not a cool guy. All right. So anyway, we are going to, oh, by the way, this is a video that I went out and recorded tonight specifically for this tutorial. That's why you notice that I'm still wearing the same hoodie. I shot this video at 11:40. It is now 3:20, so that tells you where I'm at in the old noggin. So first thing we want to do is we want to go to our color page, and we're going to notice that this box is hanging out all by itself because it's S-Log3. Nobody wants to hang out with it. It's not a cool guy. All right, let's make it a cool guy. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to go up to, that's not right. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to name this box. We're going to name this box Color Space Transform, CST. Jamil, why are we going to do that? All right, we're going to go up to the Effects tab up here in the upper right. We're going to click on it. When you click on it the first time, it's going to look like this, but you saw what I did. You're just going to drag it down until you see Color Space Transform. You're going to drag it over onto the box, right? You're going to drag it onto the box. You know that you did because if you hover your mouse on it, it says Color Space Transform. It'll give you this little box. And then right here where it says Input Color Space, you're just going to change that to Sony S Gamut 3.Cine. All right, so that's the one you're going to change it to. Now, if you look at your image, look at that. You got some color in it. This guy's starting to get his swag up. He's starting to glow up. You know what I mean? Other tutorials would tell you to change this input gamma to S-Log3. So let's do that. Yuck. So I'm not going to do that. I color grade, or I work on a lot of photos. And the thing that I try to do is I try to expose them correctly so I don't have to add a lot of, exposure into it in the color grade, because that adds noise. And in my heart of hearts, it's telling me that it would do the same thing on this video. And so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it out. I'm going to say use timeline. That looks good to me. We just want an image that we can be proud of, so we're not going to do that. So we're going to hit this effects tab again. We're going to close that. And now we're going to give him some friends. He's a cooler looking guy, so we're going to give him some friends. So we're going to hit, Shift S, and now look at this guy. Now he's over here. He's got two buddies. All right, and now we got a little guy. We got a little gang going here. We got some friends. All right, so we're gonna name this guy. We're gonna name this guy Exposure. All right, and then we're gonna name this guy. Color. We're gonna name it Color/Look. All right. Now, for whatever reason, you want to do it in that order. I don't know why it works that way. I just know that it does work that way. Do it in that order. Color space transform, then work on your exposure box, then work on your color box. Don't do it out of order. All right, because as you begin to learn more about color grading, you'll understand why. I'm not going to get into it in this video because we're just keeping it easy. But you want to do it in that space, and you want it to look like this. You want the first box to be color, the second one to be exposure, the third one to be color space transform, but you want to work on them in reverse. So you want to do the color space transform first, then you want to work on your color. So we're going to come down here. We want to make sure that we are in the primary log wheels, the color wheels, as they say. We want to pick this little Doppler thing, right? It's a white balance tester. I wore this hoodie today, this Dreamfield hoodie, because I know that this Nike sign is white. And so I'm just going to click on this Nike sign to test my white balance. Boom. You can see that it changes the color, the image a little bit. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're just getting the image right. We're getting the exposure right. We're getting it right. I'd like to add a little contrast to mine. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more contrasty. And now that's all I'm gonna do. But you can add exposure here. You know what I'm saying? Make it lighter. You can make it darker. I liked it where it was at 25, so I'm gonna go back there. That looks good to me. And plus, we're already at night. This was at 11:40 at night. I didn't have a key light. I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing the dad hat. And I got dark skin, so I don't want to lose anything in the shadows. I could boost the shadows, I could make it a little bit brighter, but you know what? I like the way that it looks. That's all I'm gonna do to exposure. You do whatever you want to do, okay? You do what you want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Yeah, we'll keep. I saw a shadow back there. I was tripping. I had to make sure nobody was trying to come up. All right, so that's all we're gonna do in the exposure box. In the color box, here's what we're gonna do. The furnace is coming on, so I gotta work a little faster. The only thing I'm gonna do in the color is I'm gonna add a little bit of temperature to mine because I like it. I like it when it looks warm because it makes my skin pop a little bit. The image is looking a little green to me, so I'm gonna add some magenta into it just so it doesn't look too green. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of saturation out because the hoodie was coming in a little hot. And so if we go back to the timeline here, we can see that that's a good looking image, right? We got some color, we got some saturation, the skin looks good. All right, I paused it. I paused it once the heater came on. So I think we were finishing up with the color. And I like the way that this looks, guys. This is the easiest way. I don't have a whole lot more to say about that. But that's it. Just to give you guys an idea, here's where we started. We started here. Here's where we are. There's a whole bunch of other things that you can do, with like split toning and adding colors to the shadows and adding colors to the highlights, getting that teal and orange. But we're not going to get into it in this video. This is the easiest way to go from S-Log3 to something that you can be proud of. Now, real quick, I do want to show you, because this is at night, I have this scene of my boy Eli here, and this is what it's going to look like during the day. So let's go all the way down over here. Let's add this to the timeline. All right, so now we got this this washed out version of my boy Eli here. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same thing. So if we go over to the color wheel, remember, this guy's all alone because he's not cool. We're going to name him CST. That says cat, CST, right? So we're going to name that CST. We're going to go into our effects. We're going to get this color space transform. Boom, we're going to drag it on top. We are going to change this to S.Cine, Sony, S-Gamut Cine 3. Now we see that it's already looking good. We're going to come over to our, no we're not. Actually, we're going to close this. We're going to give them some friends, Shift S, Shift S. Remember, we're going to come over here. We are going to name this one Exposure, Exposure. And then in the exposure box, I am going to give my boy some contrast just so we can make it look. There it is. Look at how good that's looking already. All right. What else do I want to do? I want to lower the shadows on this one just because I like my darks to be dark. And then that's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do with exposure. That's all I'm going to do with CST. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to name this box color, right? COLOR / look. And then what am I going to do? I think I want to make it, oh, you know what I forgot to do in exposure? I forgot to white balance. So I'm going to come back over to exposure. I'm going to look for something white, maybe a cloud up here. I don't know. Oh, so that makes it a little bit more cooler. That's what I thought it would do. I'm going to come back over to color. I'm going to add some orange, not some orange, I don't want to say orange, some warmth into it. Now it's looking good. Is it looking green? No, but let's rosy up those cheeks just a little bit. Boom. I'm going to give this actually more saturation just because it's outside. It's looking a little bit dull. I want to make those colors pop. And look, that looks good, guys. Look where we are. That's what we did. All right. Let's go back. Let's see where we started from. This is what it looked like before. This is where we're at now. There's a whole lot more we could do to this, obviously. But like I said, I want to keep it easy. I want to show you the easiest way to do it. Remember, we shoot in S-Log3 because we want to save. We want to have that dynamic range. We want to be able to keep our shadows dark. We want to save that sky when it's not super cloudy out. This is looking good, guys. This looks good. All right, and then one more. I'm going to show you guys this one. This is one that I had when I was practicing down here in the basement. So we'll make it super easy. Let's get the playhead on top of that one. Again, we're wearing this red hoodie. So again, we're going to come over to here. We are going to go to the effects tab. We're going to go to color space transform. We're going to add it on top. We're going to change that to .Cine 3. Nope, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. We want to get it right. .Cine. All right, there we are. We got some color in here. We're not going to do anything else to that box. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. We're going to name that CST real quick. CST, enter, Shift S. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to call this our exposure. Boom, exposure, enter. All we're going to do again is we're going to come over here. We're going to click on this. We're going to click on the white part of the image. We see that got a little blue. I'm going to add some contrast to this. Oh yeah, I like the way that looks when you added that contrast. Did you guys see that? I like it. I like it. All right, so you guys can see down here, we got a lot of shadows back here, right? We got a lot of shadows back here. One of the things that you can do is you can just leave this as color, right? You can change this node and you can do color. and then you can add some warmth to it like I like to do. I'm going to take a little bit of saturation out because that sweater is coming in hot. Go back a little bit more warmth. That makes the skin pop. All right, so see this light back here? I got this light back there for a reason. I'm going to go and I'm going to make one more, all right? And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to change this one to be my look. All right, and so this is a teal light that I got back here. I want to go into my log wheels because we were in the color wheels first, but now I want to go to my log wheels. And then the shadows, I want to really get down. I'm going to drag this dot just a little bit. You see that? You see how it's really getting into the shadows in the back? See how we're really getting that teal look in the back? I want to do that. And then I'm going to go back to my color wheels. And just to really, boost that teal, I'm going to do that to my midtones too. And then for my color wheel, I'm going to go back and I'm going to lift my highlights just a little bit back to the orange so that I can get some color back into my face. And that's the look that I'm going for. It's a little dark for me, but I'm going to raise it up a little bit. Look at that, guys. That's how you introduce a look. There's a whole lot of other things that I can do to go and fix my skin, but I just wanted to show you guys what that looked like. But that's the video. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick to let you guys know what I've been working on. If you guys have any questions about this color grading thing, let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.